Hi, everyone, and welcome. If you're joining us from somewhere, please let us know in the chat. I'm going to wait a few moments for people to get here, but maybe they're not coming because I'm going to be sharing this link. And also in the chat, if you can let me know if you can't see something, if you can't hear me, anything like that. I know that there is a delay, but I want to get started right away. And one of the things that happened to me today is I had a little technical difficulty. So I'm going to have to like kind of go back and forth in a weird way between the two screens this time. But uh, we'll make it work. That's I'm kind of showing like you do it even if the technology sometimes isn't working. So I am going to start, and I'm going to give you. Oh, love it, New Zealand. Um, I'm going to start, and I'm going to give you access to this toolbox of all the tools that I'm going to be talking about today, rather than the slide deck. And oh, we have Boulder, New Zealand, Philadelphia, yay, Massachusetts. So great to see you guys all here. So I'm going to add to the stage, and it's going to be a little weird right now. And I'm going to come over here and present this. And we're going to start by having you go to infuse.link/toolbox. And if anyone wants to be the person who puts that in the chat, that would be fantastic. But that's going to take you to a PDF in Google Drive that will take you to, oh, hello there, Latoya, having conversations with you earlier. But uh, I'm going to take you to, that's going to take you to a PDF that's going to have all of these tools. And we're going to start off while we're waiting for people to come in. Oh, Kitchener, all of my favorite places. Um, we're going to start with a little talk about AI detectors because it's something really near and dear to my heart right now. And I'm really kind of a bit bothered by what I'm seeing in schools. So, first, let me just say I'm Holly Clark. You probably know that if you got to this because you saw something on Twitter or you're part of my email address or list. So, I'm not going to spend too much time here. I wrote the AI infused classroom. And I tried to write it about learning and not about tools so that it wouldn't go out of date. And hopefully that is happening. But I'm just going to make sure that it's showing this. Okay. So I want to talk about the most used AI tools. And this is as of February 2024. And February 1st, this came out. We've already had some rebranding with Bing now being Copilot and Bard now being Gemini. But I want to take you to a slide that I think is really important to focus in on. And this is turnitin.com. And turn it in. I don't know if they're going to come after me, but I have to be the person who says this. The technology does not exist. It does not work to be able to detect if a kid has written something using AI. So Turnitin and other AI detectors, and Turnitin is number 9 on this list, meaning that it's being used by teachers a lot. Turnitin.com cannot correctly say if something's written by AI. So right now, it is a money grab for them. They are making money on school districts. They are making money on teachers who don't know what to do in this new AI revolution. And that's why I applaud you for being here today. But I want you to take back this message to your school. This technology does not work. And the false positivity rate that I'm seeing right now is about 80 to 90%. And I would actually put it closer to 100%. And it's two things are happening. They're lying about the technology, and I have provided for you on that toolkit thing that we just talked about in infuse.link/toolkit. On the second page, there's a Padlet that will give you the resources you need to understand that this tool doesn't work. One of the best resources comes from Adam Sparks, who has gone through all of their research and pointed out where they're lying, basically. And so, what's happening right now in colleges and in high school classrooms is that students are getting Fs. It's because the teacher says if you use AI, you're going to get an F. There's a very well known story out right now of a girl who I think she was in Georgia, and she was detected to have used AI because of turnitin.com, and she got a bad grade in the class because the teacher gave her a 0 and she lost her scholarship. And these stories are over and over, and everyone has a story how Turnitin.com misrepresented their work as being written by 40% AI or 80% AI. And the message that we need to get out is that this technology does not work, and this is not your answer for whether or not kids are using AI. Today, we're going to really look at kids using AI because I think it is a game changer in the classroom. And once they begin to use AI in the way that we're going to talk about today, I think they're going to see ways that they can use it beyond what they're doing on their own right now. Right now, they're telling each other in the schoolyard, hey, there's this tool that'll write a paper for you. Of course, they're going to use it, but for that, because they haven't seen it used in other ways. But Turnitin.com cannot detect that. It can't. The technology does not exist to be able to detect it. So they're lying to us and they're causing damage to kids by doing it. And most school districts spend about $20,000 a year paying for this. So of course they've got to make it look like it's detected something. It's got to be worth its value. And I've reached out to Common Sense Media. I'm doing TikToks about this because this is a tool that has to stop being used. So if your school district is using this, you have the Padlet, please send it to the right people. I know what it's like in some school districts. They're not going to listen, but at least you'll have that information. So we're going to go to our next slides and we're going to get started with what are some of the tools that we can use in this AI, ultimate AI toolbox in our classrooms. And there's a little more information here on why the detectors are problematic, so you can use that. But I don't want to spend a lot of time on that because the research is on that Padlet, and that should be enough. And it needs to get to people quickly because we're being sold a bill of goods. Anyway, we're going to start with AI image generators. It's not my favorite anymore of how we can use AI in the classroom because we have these new tools that are just coming out, but it is an important place to start. So the new AI image generators that are amazing and can be used in the classroom include Image Creator from Copilot or Microsoft, include Magic Media from Canva, which I'm going to show you in a second, and Adobe Firefly. Now, Adobe Firefly, most schools have access to Adobe Express. If you go into Adobe Express and use their Firefly from there, it is a safe version that can be used for kids. And this is important because students need to begin to see how they can collaborate with AI to do something quick and easy, like create an image. So I'm going to go to this next one and just show you the things that Adobe Firefly, my favorite tool, can do. Now, if you can't hear this, let me know in the chat. But I think future looks like wow. Oh wow. It's like wow. Yeah. Future looks like wow. Oh wow. And it starts right now. Yeah. Future looks like wow. Go and get it, go and get it, go and get it, go. Go and get it, go and get it, go and get it, go. Go and get it, go and get it, go and get it, go. It's coming up right now. And it's looking like how? Wow. Wow. The future looks like wow. And it starts right now. It's like wow. Introduce ya. It's a brand new future. Wow. So you could see all of the incredible things that Adobe Firefly can do. This is true of a lot of image generators, but we want to look at image generators in the ones that are safe for kids. So I'm going to go into Canva really quickly because every school seems to have access to Canva. And I want to show you where you would find the image generator there so that you can use that. Many people know, and I know if you're coming to an AI session, you probably know this, but let me head over to Canva. I have to stop sharing and get over to this tab instead. So hopefully, let me just confirm that you're seeing this. Okay. So here, I'm just going to use an Instagram post size. And I want you to know that Adobe has access to AI tools, and they do it in a, I mean, not Adobe, Canva, and they do it in a very safe way. And their back end is what we need when we're using AI with students. So I just want you to know that. I don't want to get technical with the back end, but I'm always looking at what apps are using to make sure that it's safe and really is safe for data and students. So if I come over to the left-hand side, and I go to apps. And you might want to take a note or two on this if this is going to be hard. But if I go to the top and I put in Magic Media, that's going to take me to this little tool right here, which is actually a text to image generator. And here, as a student, I might be writing a story about dogs in pink plains. Now, I don't know why I would be writing a story about that, but I'm just going to take a second to generate an image to go with that, that can go with my story. But I'm going to see as a student, is that enough detail? Do I need to give AI more detail? And spoiler alert, you need to. So there are no dogs in pink plains. And this will help students understand that this is not enough information. I need to have maybe the type of dog. I maybe need to have sitting on a seat in a plane wearing pink. And so this becomes a really good teaching moment to teach kids that this little simple um, kind of prompt for AI is not going to work. And now they can bring these into, once they do the right AI image generation, sorry, they can now bring this into their papers. So I want you to know that that exists and that you can use this safely right inside of Canva. Now I'm going to keep going because I have some more exciting tools, but this is something to think about. Kids don't know that this magic media exists. It will take you showing them that they need to go to apps, they need to type in magic media, and then they need to select this. And they will get to a version of Dolly, which is produced by OpenAI, that they can use. It's pretty exciting. And students actually love using this tool. Okay, so now I'm going to go over to back to my little screen share of oops, I think I wasn't on the right one. Uh-oh, I wasn't on the right one. Let me show you. Hold on. Um, okay, so here we go. Let me do that one more time. So I went to, that's the beauty or non-beauty of being in here. So I went to an Instagram post size. I went over here to apps, and then I went to the top, and hopefully it's, yeah, sharing this. Magic Media is what I type in. And so I have this magic media. I select this. I type in, I'm going to do that dogs and planes again. I apologize. I'm going to have to take that out. And I'm going to generate an image. Now I just did dogs and planes instead of dogs in pink planes. And we'll see what it generates. I'm so sorry again. And right now it's generating an image of dogs and planes. That looks fantastic. But I might want to put in more information. What kind of dog? What are they wearing? And so this becomes that place that I was talking about where students need to understand how they interact with the AI. So I'm sorry that you guys didn't see that before. Again, we are in apps. We are in putting in magic media at the top, and we're getting access to a version of Dolly, an earlier version that's different from the one that's in ChatGPT 4. So I don't know if it's still not doing it. It's still not doing it, right? Oh my gosh, this is embarrassing. So hold on. Let me see if this does it, and I'm going to come back. Super embarrassing. Let me look. Okay, hold on. I'm going to put it in Instagram. Come back. It's not letting me share my whole screen, which is the problem. It's not doing it. Oh my goodness. When it does that, it goes to another tab is why. So let me do this. This should be good. So here I am with that Instagram. I'm going over here to the left-hand side to apps. Thank you for being patient with me. I come up here to Magic Media. Then I select the first one that comes up called Magic Media. And this is where I'm going to do dogs in pink planes again, because I know that this is doing it. It's going to generate image. I'm going to check back. Okay, it's doing it. And That's where it's going to create that image. Oh, twice I did that. I'm so sorry. All right, so you can see there's no what I don't know what's happening here. There's no dogs in pink planes. It doesn't make sense. Showing me that I have to communicate better with AI and an important thing for students to see. Okay, I'm going to make sure that that doesn't happen again. Um, so we're going to move on, and I'm going to head back to my thing. My Let me just close out some of these tabs that didn't work, and we're going to head back to this. And I'm going to share this tab instead, so we're good. And I'm going to actually come over here, and our next thing that we're going to do is my favorite new thing. Here are some ways that you can use AI image generation in your class, but I want to go beyond this. And so, thinking about these ways is important, but I want to show you what I think is the next new thing in AI in classrooms. So, we're gonna head to School AI, and I want you to try this first. So I'm gonna head over there. I'm gonna share this tab, and I'm in an app called School AI, which I am really impressed with. I've only been using it for about a month, and the things that I've seen it do in classrooms is changing the game for me. So in this case, I'm gonna have you get out your phone, and I want you to scan this QR code. And when you scan this QR code, it's going to take you to this space. This space is actually a place where we're going to look at literary devices using Taylor Swift lyrics. And I'm just doing this because most people have heard of Taylor Swift lyrics before. I actually put in just 5 or 6 songs that we're going to use in it when I made the guardrails for this particular chatbot. And I'm going to head back and make sure that you guys see this. I see you coming in, so thank you for dealing with me when I had the big mess up with Canva. Um, so, I don't know what you guys are having conversations about with the Canva, so thank you for having those on the side. I can put the URL in the chat. Absolutely. Give me 1 second. And let me launch that again and come back to the chat. So, I want you to read and respond to this bot and see you think of what it does. And then I'm going to show you the information it actually gives me about you guys as students, which I am really thrilled by. And if we think about this, we are at Pong level AI. And what I mean by that is, you remember Pong back from the 1970s? You have to be a certain age, but we played this video game that was very basic. And that's where we are with AI. We're at the beginning. We're at Commodore 64. So if this is what we're getting at the beginning, I can't imagine what we're going to do, what we're going to have. So um, again, we're using School AI. And I see you guys in there. I'm going to go back over there. And as you are interacting with this AI, it is giving me information. So it's telling me that Yen is able to identify, interpret similes in the lyrics. I am getting information as you go through this. I'm also seeing that Beth is at Levin in a fast car, so she's probably in the song Red. Felicia said, "I'm ready." She's getting ready, and the more information that comes in, the more information I'm going to start to get about you and your understanding about literary devices. We're early on in this activity, so the AI hasn't had a lot of time to really kind of say what you're doing. But I have this opportunity for kids to go in, really practice literary devices in a way that they like. Maybe it's a yes and I'm doing it in class, but this is a yes and activity. They can go do this when they're finished. And if you want, you can ask it, you can say something like, "I don't really like Taylor Swift. I want to learn from Bob Marley," and see what happens. It will change it to Bob Marley, or it has in the past. I actually put in 5 songs here, so it might not. But it's telling me that certain of you have a good understanding of similes and metaphors. I'm starting to see what's happening. And I find this information at our early stages of AI, a really interesting look at what I can do with students. So I'm going to show you something else. We're going to come out of this. We see Crystal's getting started. Felicia's staying on, I'm ready. But let's just say I want to go to Amanda, who is doing red apparently. And I can view Amanda's chat over here. I can see what she's saying. I can see the conversation. Super important. Um, and as we get more information, I'm going to be able to group you into those who understand literary devices and some who don't, and people I need to work with. But I need more data before that kind of appears. So I want to show you something else I can do because I'm in love with this tool. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to turn this off so that you guys will come with me to the next activity because this is really fun. Um, and you can see it has a speak tool. So if the students are young, it can speak the instructions. You have a speech to text that can be done on a Chromebook. I'm loving it. So I'm going to end this activity and I'm going to kick you all out of here. But I'm going to do this. We're going to compare something right now because there's a new tool that just came out, Magic School Student. We're going to see the difference and see what you guys think because Magic School Student just came out like yesterday. So I'm going to go and model like not knowing how to use the tool before I use it. But I'm going to go to Sidekick. Sidekick is a chat bot for students where I put the guardrails. I'm going to say you can only do these things. And in this one, I'm going to say help students choose a topic for a persuasive paragraph. Now, all I'm going to do, I've just put this in. I should put in more information, but because we're running out of time and I made the mistake with Canva, I'm just going to launch this. You're going to have this same thing. You're going to scan this. Oops, sorry, let me invite you again. I was copying the link so I could put it in our chat. And there's a link to our new one. School AI doesn't need to sign a data privacy because it doesn't collect any student data. So it is safe for all students. But I don't know how your district is, but they will sign whatever. And I'm little loving this tool. Latoya, who's here, told me about Mizu, which I've reached out to them. I can't wait to learn about that tool. So now you're in. I can see you guys in on this one. And I want you to try and come up. So for me, it's going to say, let's start thinking about your persuasive paragraph. And I'm going to say, I want to write one on Taylor Swift. And then it's going to say to me, okay, what part of Taylor Swift interests you? And then I'm going to be like, her songs. And then it's going to help me dive into what part I want to do. Now, this, when I was in a language arts classroom, would be a very long week of kids saying, I don't know what to write about. I don't know what I'm going to do, whatever. And here is a way for them to dive in. Now, someone said, Jennifer, that school AI will sign the DPA. And also I saw someone a second ago say the bot is sometimes wrong. The bot can be wrong. And you're right. This is a perfect way to teach kids about misinformation. It's a way to teach kids about possible bias. We're not going to get really any bias in these examples that I'm talking about, but I lean toward kids seeing how they can use AI to do other things than cheat. And this gives them that example. So I want you to try in this bot and ask it. Now, I haven't put up enough guardrails, so I'm a little afraid of this, but I want you to ask it to write the persuasive essay for you and see what it says. And then let me know in the chat, what do you guys think? What do you think of this? It is so simple that all you do is put in those directions and launch it, boom, and then you get this information. I'm going to go back and show you the information I'm getting about you. So I'm learning that Jillian is interested in exploring the topic of cooking. Oh, it left, so then it went to cooking, sorry. Reading. Michelle is interested in the topic of technology. Julia is passionate about writing a persuasive. I get all of this information about you. Now I want you to look at the screen for a second. because now I can come over to groups. And if you look at where I'm circling around, this is where I can put you into groups based on, are you getting a persuasive topic? Are you struggling? So I'm going to do groups, and it's going to say, uh, the people who are kind of getting it, like they're at a B level, they're in this group. And people who are, at the C level right now, they're getting a persuasive topic, but they're not quite there. I have this group. And then I'm going to probably have kids who really need me to go over and help them. So I love this. It's really, really interesting me. I'm going to go back to the A through Z now. And this is the kind of information. So, A, whoever that is, I must like you because you're doing Taylor Swift as well. Jamie's doing painting. And so I'm having you and giving you help to come up with that persuasive topic idea. So I thought to myself, let me try this in Magic Student. And I didn't see a place where I could do quite the same thing. So I'm going to come over to this and I'm going to share my tab here. So now I'm coming over to Magic School, and they just launched their tools for students. And we have to remember, they just launched this yesterday. So this might be something I don't really know how to use yet, or something that, maybe some of the tools aren't where they're going to be in a second or in a few weeks. But so I did the same exact thing. In Idea Generator, which is a tool for students, I put in help fifth graders pick a persuasive essay topic. And we're going to just compare and contrast what we think of that. Now, I need to go back because I need to launch this activity. So this is where I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm going to go over to student. I'm going to go to Idea Generator again and type that in. Apparently, I had waited too long. And I might not even be able to do this because it's so darn new that I might not be able to find Idea Generator. Here it is. So I think I do this. I haven't, okay, help a fifth grader write a persuasive or pick a persuasive essay topic. That's important. Not right. I'm spelling it wrong. It should be okay. Let me just do that. And now I'm going to generate it. And I don't know why it's not giving me the code. It did give me the code before. So right now, it's not giving me a code. So I don't know what's happening. I am, in fact, in the student. So I'm not going to be able to show it to you. And there's probably people out there who've played enough with it. But it was supposed to generate a code, and it wasn't doing that. So let me just see if I can make this generate a code. Okay. Huh. So too new. I don't know. It's just doing it for me instead of doing something that I can share with students, which I think it's just because it's brand new. So we're not going to we're not going to judge them on that. But I will tell you, yeah. So okay, Latoya, let me try that. Click launch. Okay. So here's the room. And you're probably watching me. Oh, it's embarrassing. I'm doing it again. Shouldn't use a tool that I haven't used enough. Launch a new room. Okay, now I'm going to do the idea generator. We're going to compare and contrast if it will work for me. It's just me getting to learn this. So I'm going to add this. And now I'm going to come up here, and it's going to actually have two. Let me remove this. So I am going to, oh, where'd it go? Okay. Now I'm going to launch this room. I'm going to say fifth grade idea generator. It's going to get help with ideas on any topic, I guess. And I'm going to launch the room. And then maybe when you do this code, ask it to help you with the persuasive essay. I don't know what it's going to look like. Still too new. I'm going to copy this, put it in here. I am being a lead learner right now. I don't want to not use a tool because I haven't had enough time with it. Now, Canva was another situation. I know how to use that. Um, so I'm curious. I see you all coming in. I'm going to go back and kind of look at it. And I'm curious if you'll share your experience in the chat because I'm gonna actually do the QR code too. Because today when I did this with students, it was a little bit different than like school AI. And I could just be doing it wrong. I love that they have the opening message that says this could be biased, there could be problematic. And then I'm launching the idea generator, and I'm going to say persuasive essay, and then see what it does. And here it's giving me ideas for implementing a mandatory community service requirement. So it's really telling me rather than letting me drill down, it feels like. I don't know if you guys are having the same experience. Um, and I do also, Judy, sorry, like that it does remind students about responsible use of AI. I think that's a winner. But I don't see how I can dig down into like saying I want to do one on Taylor Swift. And maybe that was in my initial thing. So I'm going to go back and see if I can put in Taylor Swift, ideas for a Taylor Swift per- essay. I'm just going to do for quick. And it gives me 3 ideas, but it doesn't ask me any more questions. What are some key examples of Taylorism in modern work environments today? I don't know what that is. Uh, is there Taylorism? There should be. um, so yeah, it gives ideas for the topic rather than letting students, I guess, have more agency. So we'll continue to play with that tool. I just wanted to show you that really quickly. I'm going to go back quickly to school AI because I need to move on to some other tools. I want to show you at least one more, and we're kind of getting. I was only going to do a half hour, but so now I'm back in School AI and I just want to show you around quickly. When you go to School AI, and let me double check that you're seeing what I think you're seeing. When you go to School AI, there's going to be these 3 boxes, and I want to explain them to you. In the sidekick is where I can make this chatbot like I did for you guys. And I just put in here what I want. That's it. And then I launch it. Done. I start to see what students say. It's that easy. Now, if I go back, I can come in here and I can find a space. Maybe I want to find an opportunity for students to talk to a history figure. And I can come here and I can go talk to Frederick Douglass. Now, I did have my friend Ken Shelton go in and talk to Frederick Douglass and like kind of push the bot to see if it gave misinformation or bias. And he was super impressed with the things that Frederick Douglass said and did. And it didn't appear to him that it was giving misinformation or bias. So I think that's really important. And if you guys know who Ken Shelton is, hopefully that lends kind of an error of reliability because that's what I wanted him to do. I wanted him to try and break this and make it say something wrong. And he actually could not. And if I come over here, it's where I can create a space. And a space and a sidekick are basically the same. So if you're just starting, stay in the sidekick arena. But I want to show you one other thing. So when I come down here to feature collections, if I go to see all spaces, one of the spaces that a lot of elementary teachers have been showing me that they like is this Tattletale bot. And when I launch this Tattletale bot or put it in Google Classroom or Clever or whatever, this can be a bot that students go to and have a conversation about like, oh, so and so is bugging me and keeps touching my computer. And the bot will work through like, well, why don't you talk to them or talk to a teacher? Or it helps them kind of come off the ledge for some things like that. I don't know if I love the title Tattletale bot, but it kind of works for students. And so you can find a lot of really interesting examples if you go into this find a space and you ask to see all spaces. So if you happen to teach science, there's a science fair one that helps kids pick their science fair topic. There's AI for anyone who wants students to know about AI. I think there's really interesting ones in here. So it's something to consider. You can go look at those, and it's as simple as selecting it and launching it with this blue tool. So I love that. Now, um, let me come back, and I'm going to show you one other thing that I really am liking right now in Curapod. And I'm going to share this tab. I'm going to make sure that you guys are seeing what I want you to see. So Curapod, when it first came out, I wasn't sure how I could use it. And then they came out with something called student feedback, AI feedback. And that became a game changer for me. And so I just want to show you this really quickly. And I'm sorry that I haven't been able to look at your guys's chat, but you're doing really well in the chat, and you're helping each other out. I love this. So I just want to show this really quickly. I'm actually going to take you through this activity for 2 seconds. We're going to do it so quickly, but I want you to see this. So back at Curapod, I am going to launch in my lessons, and I'm going to use Seattle as the example here because I have to do this with Seattle teachers on Saturday. So we're going to use this one. And this is a activity that I've made to get students to start writing about a paragraph. And it's going to provide AI feedback to them instantly. And then I'm going to ask them to change that paragraph based on that feedback. So let me present this and let you guys come in and do this with me. So I want you to head to curie.live in a new tab. And you could do that on your phone, or you can do that in a new tab. And that's going to be a little hard because you're going to be in a new tab and you won't be watching this. So you'll understand what my life's like right now. And once you do, you're going to go into with the pin 459047. So I'm going to put that over in the chat. Some of you are already there. So you just go to this, and then you're going to go to 459047. It's going to ask for your name. When you put in your name, it's going to actually give you a cute little name like Magic Watermelons, whatever. And so we're going to go in here, and I'm just going to run through this. And I want to show you how I layered this, what I think is with Pedagogy. And I see the same number of you are here that like came, and I appreciate that after all the technical difficulties. So really quickly, I'm going to start this activity. You're going to do it on your screen. Turn off the sound. And now you're going to see, now you obviously don't live in Seattle. Just take a guess what your favorite thing would be. And I am going to start this. And what I'm trying to do here is layer on you thinking about a paragraph that you're going to write about Seattle, you thinking about Seattle before I have you write that paragraph in a really fun way. So you guys are voting on this. I'm going to have to stop it because we got to move on. But you'll see that, and you're all in it. It's so good. You guys are amazing. So it's going to stop. And it's going to show you your responses that if you lived in Seattle, this is what you think, why you would like it. And apparently you guys think the food, me too. And so now you're thinking about, what do I love about Seattle before you write about it? So I'm going to go to this next one. What is one word you would use to describe Seattle if you lived there? Anything you know about Seattle? We obviously know it's green, it's rainy, it's beautiful, it's in the Northwest. There are things that we can say. So it will give you 3 boxes, but I want you to only answer one. And not everyone has answered yet. So I know that's why I try to give you some. I might have lost you with this activity, but I'm going to stop because I want you just to see this. And now I'm going to have a word cloud. So I can sit in front of the class and say, oh, yes, some of you said rainy. Some of you said electric. Oh, this is really good. And we can look at these words. So now kids have in their head some words they can use to describe this. The next thing I'm going to ask is for you to write a sentence about Seattle. And then after you write the sentence, you're going to vote on the best sentence. They're all going to show on your screen and you're going to vote on them. So you're going to see other sentences and other ways kids describe Seattle. We're not going to do that. I'm going to skip past that. But I am going to have you do this. I just want you to, for 1 second, write one sentence. It doesn't even have to be about Seattle. That doesn't matter. Just write a sentence, and I'm going to have this AI give you instant feedback. So I'll give you a second to get that sentence done. I'll take a drink of water. I probably need tequila after that Canva thing. So just write a quick sentence, anything that you want. I just want you to experience what the AI feedback kind of looks like. And I'm going to catch up with your chat. Um, for time sakes, I'm going to head back over to Nearpod. And I see that 20 of you have done it. Make sure just to get in like a word or something here so it can tell you, give you some feedback. Might not all be in it. So I'm going to give it just a second more and come back over and catch up with your thing. And my point in this activity was to layer activities to get you to think before I ask you to write. The writing doesn't have to be about Seattle. Obviously, you know that. It could be summarizing a historical event. It could be tell me about the scientific concept. It could be summarizing what happened in that novel that day. So this is just an example. And here we go. So I'm going to head back over. I'm going to stop. And for 28 of you, 29 now, it's going to stop and give you feedback. So I'm going to ask it to give feedback. I can see, never been to Seattle, the farmer's market. I'd be the same way. Some of you really got in there. Might be some great things to look here. I love how Grey's Anatomy is set in Seattle. It's good stuff. So it should have given you feedback. And your sentence and or couple sentences should be first, and then there should be feedback after. One of the things I haven't figured out yet, so I'm demonstrating lead learning, is how I get students to keep that feedback. So right now, I've been having them copy and paste it into a Google Doc. In the next slide, I'll show you, Michelle. In the next slide, I would have them write it again now that they've had that feedback. So this is what I'm doing. I'm going to stop here and I'm going to come back and show you. And I'm going to have to go to another CurePod tab. So give me a second. I'm going to show you what I did to get to that. And then you guys can play with this at another time. So I'm back inside of my dashboard. Hopefully, let me double check so we don't have that happen again. Okay, I'm back inside of my dashboard. And here I can go to AI, students receive AI feedback. I'll get a few different examples. I didn't use any of these. I used paragraph of the week. And when I did that, it gave me, and I put fifth grade, you could put eighth. It gave me this generated slide deck, one with instructions for the teacher and one with this thing that I had to go in and change. But here's what I did to layer on the pedagogy of getting students to think about what it is we're going to write about. So I came down here to add new. And when I did that, these activities came up. And that's where I layered in the word cloud, the poll, the open question, which for me was write a sentence. It was just an open question. And when I layered those in and then I just presented it, that's how I got that activity. And what I love about that is that I'm able to give kids instant feedback to get their writing better. And I'm giving them situations where they can practice their writing outside of this world of AI that's going to come like a tsunami to them. I want them to have some independent, thought provoking time where they're writing, but I don't want to give them a plain piece of paper and say, we're going to write about Seattle. I want to do that brainstorming, and that's what I was trying to layer in. Last tool that I'm going to show you today is called Snorkel. And Snorkel is not quite able for you to sign up for an account yet. They will be in about 2 weeks. But I want you to know that this is out there so that when those 2 weeks, like teachers are in and people are doing it, but you have to like contact them. You can't just sign up for it like normal. You will be able to in 2 weeks. But I want you to see this Snorkel. So Snorkel is a place where it's going to give students, it's going to give students AI feedback. So in this one, this is for our math teachers. So here is a math problem. Elena and Tyler and May each are making a frame for artwork, and the frame is quadrilateral. The perimeter is 146 centimeters. So if I record me doing this question, I will be able to get feedback. So I'm recording. I'm saying, okay, we're doing a quadrilateral, which are equal on two sides, and we have that it's 146 centimeters, and then we have that one side is 29 centimeters. Well, we know if one side's 29, the other side has to be equal. So there's 29. 29 and 29 equal 58. So if I subtract 58 from 146, I get 88. I need to divide that by 2, and I get 44. So I know that the other lengths of the sides in this quadrilateral are 44. Okay, so now I've done this, and I'm going to submit it. It's going to come back in a moment, and it's going to give me feedback as to whether or not I'm doing this math problem correctly. I actually stupidly did it correctly. I should have done it wrong. But let's think of a student who is at home doing math problems incorrectly, has no idea that they're doing them all wrong, and has nowhere to check to make sure that they have done them correctly. So it says right here, great job in understanding that a rectangle has two pairs of equal sides. You correctly subtracted the sum of the lengths from the total perimeter and divided by 2. Well done. Next time, try to clearly state why the opposite sides of a rectangle are equal. That's good because I didn't do that. And so now students are able to get that feedback to help them at home to finish those math problems. Or there are other problems you can do inside of Snorkel. I'm just running out of time. But this is interesting to me. This is interesting to me in terms of kids being able to get that feedback at home, because there are many parents who can't help them with this math problem. And so they don't keep doing the question wrong the way that I did when I was a kid. So, hello. Um, I'm seeing some people over in the chat. So anyway, um, so Snorkel is like AI feedback for students that I'm really interested in seeing how this develops. So now for me, in terms of what we're seeing with AI, and let me change this, I kind of like went through this. I think that this school AI, this magic school, when I get better at it, this idea that kids can get timely feedback, they can do it in a bot that's customized and trained by the teacher, has guardrails to keep you inside of that particular assignment, is where I think the education is going to go. And there's another thing I want to make sure that I point out before we go. When students get to see AI the way that we saw with school AI, and they see that you can ask questions, you can ask for feedback, you can get idea generation, I think that then they're going to see that AI is not just going to be used as a cheating tool. And so I'm kind of really interested in getting these tools in the hands of students right away. I can't really wait for teachers to get comfortable with AI. I need to have students using it because it's their future that it depends upon. And I feel really good about the guardrails right now. I have not actually run into any problems, and I've used school AI with kindergartners. I haven't run into any problems yet. So doesn't mean that they don't exist or that it won't happen. And that's just a teachable moment. So um, this is my AI toolbox. I do want to show you one other thing in case you haven't seen it. And I will come back over to this. And I want you to know, and we were going to talk about, I want you to know about these two tools. So first, in case you haven't seen Sora,
that we're gonna see is a hermit crab with a light.
I'm going to pause. Sora is a text to video program. And we were doing text to image before. Now we're doing text to video with Sora, which is not available for everyone right now. That's why I can't go in there and show it to you. It soon will be. But this person put in a beetle with a light bulb. And this is
Bulb
the video.
as a shell walking through the beach at night time. really, really impressive stuff. The next one is a Labrador hacker. Uh, and like, if you look at the details,
So someone put into the text to video a Labrador hacker. And this is the video that came out. And so there's a lot to unpack here. There's a lot in terms of, oh my gosh, are we going to be able to believe any videos that come out? What does this mean for the movie industry? There's a lot happening here. But I want to show you one other thing that's really fun that I think you'll have fun with in your classes. And I'm going to share this tab, and this is called Suno, and it makes songs for you. So I'm going to make a song, and it's not sharing, so let me share this. So I'm going to create a song, and it's going to make me sign in. And I hope it doesn't go to another tab. Give me 1 sec, and I'll get in there, and I'll view this tab. Now, here we go. I'm going to create a song in the style of pop about AI in classrooms. And I'm just going to say create. I wish I could say in the style of Taylor Swift. I can't. You can see I was playing with fractions. So it did a fraction of my heart in K-pop. Takes about 30 seconds to generate it, but let's play my new song. Thank you. I am an artist now, like Taylor Swift. Oh, is still doing it. And here is that song.
Ain't no world where screens go so bright. A classroom filled with LED lights. Ooh, yeah. Artificial intelligence is here to stay, changing the game in every way. In the cloud.
So I'm going to stop sharing this. I'm going to come back, and I'm going to say, so we can write a song basically in 2 seconds, maybe 30 seconds that was. So this is some of the fun things and that we could do. And someone just asked what was the name of that. That's Suno AI. And you get a certain number of points per day, and then that tells you you can make more songs, whatever. So I've made songs about fractions. I've made songs for kids. It's just let me get it, and I'll put the thing for you. Suno is actually it. But it's fun to know about these little tools that are coming out in like an AI ultimate toolbox. But the toolbox, I believe now, is no longer about us, about ChatGPT. I think it's about chatbots in classrooms with guardrails, helping students who need extra help. So we are done. Thank you. And I'd be interested if any of you have any comments about what you learned, what tool you liked the best, what was most interesting before you leave, but you don't have to. But I'd love to know. And thank you for dealing with my technical difficulties. And I've got loved all the tools you're sharing, even more love your attitude toward using AI in the classroom. Thank you. And showing technical difficulties. And I'm going to thanks, Latoya. It was good to see you here. Or not really see you here, but you know what I mean, after chatting a little bit this morning. Hopefully, we can kind of shift. What I'm saying is, I'm sort of going to leapfrog teachers now and get the AI to students with these tools. And right now, I've got to learn Magic School Student. But I am very, very loving School AI. I'm glad that it made you feel better. I'm going to have to edit this thing, I think. It's kind of embarrassing. Oh, Julie, I can't wait for you. Like, this is the one tool, by the way, for those of you who are presenters, that I've seen the most uptake. School AI is the one that teachers go and use right away, like the next day. I've had teachers run back to their classroom at lunch and set it up. So just know that if you are a presenter. Oh, 2 granddaughters. That would be really fun to try it with them. Rachel, good to see you here. Um, yeah, and I'm pretty sure we're good on the data privacy from I've worked in many states that haven't had any issues with it. Every state's different. I get it. Well, thanks everyone, and I appreciate your comments. It helps me. And if it doesn't work out right, like for me, magic school, it just means I got to go back in and try some more. Good luck, Julie. Okay, everyone. Thank you for dealing with those technical difficulties, for staying in almost an entire hour when I had only planned for a half hour. And appreciate you all coming. Now I have to edit this thing. Thanks, everyone. I'm still watching all your comments. Sorry. I'm not ending. Bye, everyone.